Yo, what up, though, man? Super producer, man. Helluva in the building. What's good, man?
I'm chilling, man. It's a regular day.
Regular day, huh?
In Detroit.
Know what I'm saying? Looking rich, money.
Yeah, right.
Walked in this boy, man, shined up, dripped up, man. I'm so happy for the city, man.
Man, I appreciate that.
Man, I've been wanting to get this interview for a long time, man. Shout out to Sid. I had a chance to interview him when I first started doing interviews like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking about like how the Detroit sound has now infiltrated like the world and the country. Like,
yeah, I be hearing it in a lot of music, like a lot of industry people, a lot of people that's not from Detroit.
Yeah.
I be hearing it in there.
Because I know being, especially in Texas, you know, it was always felt like Texas was the opposite of Detroit. Everything here, we sped up. Everything down there, they slowed down, chopped and screwed. Now I'm hearing everything sped up. They using a lot of people, young cats using the Detroit cadence, the accent, even though they country. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to Texas, man. That's just that's big to me. As far as like Texas always being such a big influence on hip hop for me. So, and in a sense, I was kind of like always following what they was doing, and to see them tapping in to something that come from Detroit that's big to me.
What is it about the Detroit sound, man, that you think feel like it's finally resonating with everyone?
I think it's like the whole lifestyle and the artists. Like the people that come from here, they have like real interesting stories and a real interesting like way of life.
Yeah.
It's just different. So I think it's not just the music, it's like everything as a whole picking up, like the whole lifestyle, the whole story. It's something different because, you know, we've been seeing everything else for a long time. So now it's like just something new.
So I want to kind of take the journey back to the beginning, man, the Helluva before the Helluva of today, man. Like, what was your upbringing like in Detroit, man, and how did you get into music?
Well, my upbringing was, you know, I had my father's side of the family was like more into music. My father did music. My uncle played guitar. My grandfather was a singer. My other uncle was a drum player. So I used to spend like weekends with my father's side of the family. So I would just kind of just pick that up. It was just like two totally different lifestyles coming from my mother's side and going to my father's side was just totally different.
Gotcha.
Like we was on my mama's side, we was ghetto, we was fun, we was wild. Then over there, it's like my grandparents, they wasn't rich, but they was like they knew how to manage money and a household and raise kids in a different type of way.
Got you. So being with your dad, did you formally pick up any instruments or what did you gravitate first when it came to music?
Well, I used to want to play the guitar like my uncle. I spent a lot of time with my uncle when I was little.
Okay.
I actually liked the guitar more than the piano, but he told me my fingers was too little to play the guitar. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play this piano better. You can play that guitar then, watch. Okay. To this day, he denied it. He told me that, though.
Oh, man.
Every time I bring it up, he be like, I never told you that. I'm like, no, you told me that, bro. I remember.
That's crazy.
You don't just make something up like that.
So, like, take it into that music. Like, man, at what point did you start transitioning to hip-hop? Like, in school, did you do band or anything like that? Did you try to pursue music that way, or?
Well, I had started playing the drums once in elementary school. So when she found out that I could play the piano, she's like, okay, you gonna play the piano? I'm like, no, I wanna play the drums. And they just try to make me play the piano. So I'm like, man, I ain't doing this shit no more.
Got you. So hip-hop then, like, cause when did you start jumping into the actual, like, pursuing it professionally as a producer? Did you ever attempt being an artist either?
Yeah, I always was rapping.
Okay.
I was rapping since I was like 5, 6, 7.
What was your first rap name?
Me and my boy, we had a little group, and we was called Eminem, actually, because both of our names started with M.
Got you. That's dope. Okay. So when did Helluva come about? Like, what's the story behind the name and transcending hip-hop in Detroit?
I had a person. She was like a friend of the family. She was like more like an auntie to me, and she used to just call me Helluva.
Okay.
Like she used to sing that song every time she sang me.
Okay.
So I was just like, she would just call me that. So one day I was like, I'm gonna use that. That's hard.
That's wild. Okay, so like I didn't know, man. Like, it's shout out to you to finally start for using the tag, because I did not know that you produced Stretch Money.
Take Money and
Made Money.
Yeah,
I did not know that was a Helluva made this beat.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I produced Great Lake Ruler too.
I didn't know that.
For Blade.
What made you start doing the tags? Is it because of that? Like, how did you come about like start tagging your music?
Well, I had like kind of picked that up from like a lot of Atlanta producers. Like,
okay.
I think they was like the first ones doing that. Then I somehow my boy Onion had got a beat to Jeezy for me, and he rapped on it, and I didn't have no tag on there. And after that, I used to use the tag sometimes, but after that, I was like, man, I'll put a tag on every single beat I do. I don't care what nobody says, I'll put a tag on there. And then it kind of started with Stretch Money too, because like Take Money, Make Money was blowing up, and like I wanted something to show like that I did it, like every beat like a stamp.
Yeah.
So I had used Stretch first, because he was like a famous Detroit rapper. So I had him on the beat saying, especially with Helly Hansen on the track. And then my son, he had a video and he was rapping, and he said, Helluva made this beat, baby, and Stretch was like, man, you should take that and use that for a tag.
That's it. And that's your son going off every time.
Yeah.
Man, so when did you get your first plaque? What was your first, was it Stretch Money?
First day out.
Oh, for real? T Grizzly was the first plaque.
Yeah, he was the breakthrough for me, and basically like underground Detroit rap.
Got you. Because I would have thought that, I guess that song was more big regionally. Take Money. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, so tell me about that T Grizzly record, man. That first day out, like, was that already made and he just came in and listened to some beats? Like, how y'all put that together?
Well, I had got a call from his auntie, rest in peace, Jobina. She had hit me up and was like, my nephew, he's getting out of jail and he has some songs that he already has wrote. Can you make beats around these songs? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's my specialty right there.
Okay.
So she brought him in and he sat and was beating on the table and rapping. And at first I ain't let him know how good I thought it was. I was just like, come back tomorrow, and I had a beat to it. When he walked out the door, we was like, God damn, that nigga went crazy. What the fuck? So I knew it was that when I heard it. Like, this is that.
So he came in beating on the table during the first day out rhymes, and then damn, that I think they got to probably have one of the coldest build up and drops of hip hop history, man. That shit goes off.
So he raps it just like how the beat goes. So to me, that's how the rap took me, because he calm, and then all of a sudden he just turn up and go crazy. And so I'm like, we got to make the beat follow that. And like a lot of it was like his ideas, but I just I spent most of the time doing the build up. Like, the beginning of the beat is like what all the time. I took probably a whole day working on that, and then by the time he was on the way to the studio, I told him I was gonna have it done by the time he got there. So the turn up part, I probably spent like 5-10 minutes making. I was just trying to rush and get it done before he got there.
So once y'all get the song recorded and y'all hear it, do y'all know that it's gonna go off the way? Did you feel like it was gonna go off the way that it did?
Nah, but we had did like 5 songs real quick, and I listened to them like all the time. Like, when you make music all the time, you don't listen to it all the time.
Yeah.
But these particular songs, like, I listen to them all the time, like on the headphones, in the car, on the airplane. I was listening to them, so I knew that he had something special, and his storytelling and his lingo was different and special. So I just thought everything was good. But when the video got done to first day out, I was like, oh my God, this shit crazy. He gonna take Detroit over.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Hey, shit, he did. I mean, shit, he took over, because I remember, I had my studio down in Texas, because my studio started off as Say Cheese Music Studio. So I've been with Cotton from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting in the studio and the video came on. I don't know who played it. And I'm watching it and I hear the beat. I was like, oh, this nigga sound like he from Detroit.
I'm
chilling and that shit going. But when he hit that Joy Road bitch with the money long as 6 Mile, oh shit, you know, I'm always screaming Joy Road. So
that part of the beat kind of like threw the beat off when I had made it. So it wasn't dropping right. Yeah. And he was just like, I'll just take that part out. And I'm like, fuck no, we gonna figure this out because that's the best part.
Hell
so this is like an off bar in the beat. So let's say this is the hype, the build up part of the beat, and this the hype part of the beat. So they just run smooth, but it wasn't going in place. So I had to take the hype part and move it back. So this little empty space can say Joy Road, bitch, put the money on.
And then come in, man.
Exactly.
So immediately T Grizzly is going crazy.
So I'm like, this song is gonna go crazy in Detroit. This is all I'm thinking. So on Instagram the next day, I started seeing like all these people doing videos to the song, and I'm like, is this real? Like, this can't be real.
Damn.
And I had talked to Joseph McFashion, and cause he upped the video, and he was like, I think this is gonna be your biggest song. Like the first night he said that, and the next day all that shit was going on. And back then, me and T used to be together like all day, every day. So we went to the mall and he was like signing autographs the next day.
That's crazy. So like with that going on, man, that record goes off. Is that immediately the demand for Helluva?
Yeah.
Like, cause I think one time Kodak, was he in this studio? Like,
no, he was at United Sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause I seen Kodak come up here and he was like with you. Big A was his security. He come down. He been down in Dallas a lot.
I don't know, man. First time Kodak came to the studio, he was by himself.
No, I think this is right at the time. Was he with you that time when all this shit happened when he went to jail?
Yeah, that was like the next day, I think. But the very first time he came to the studio, he came by himself.
Oh, damn.
He FaceTimed me, and he was at a gas station. And I was telling my boy, I was like, I think Kodak is by himself. And he pulls up to the studio by himself. Fucking Kodak Black with all these big-ass chains on and money and...
In Detroit.
Yeah.
What was it like, man, like being in the studio with Kodak? Like, what's his work ethic like compared to most artists when you...
Man, Kodak is literally like something like a musical genius, in my opinion. Like the way he writes and words things and his melodies, like, that boy the truth. Got you.
Now, you contributed to a lot of T Grizzly discography. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I, work out or whatever, I already know. Again, when I hear the tag, I already know that it's about to be a turn up. But, like, working with other people, like, with Sada coming out of that camp, man, like, how do you stay neutral?
With people
when things go wrong like that. But you in such a demand, and you got like relationships, like especially like, for example, in Dallas, we having a big issue with Rainwater Camp, Mo3 Camp, and Bobby Billions on that outside because Bobby Billions decided to do a song with Trap Boy and them, and so people feel like it's a friction. You popped off even more so nationally because of your song with T Grizzly. But now he's at, the odds or whatever with Sada and them. Like, how do you stay neutral? How do you keep your relationships balanced between the two?
Well, that's just like say if you, like, I look at, like, most of the artists I work with, like, family. You know what I'm saying? Feel like a big brother or like an uncle to them. So, like, if your two nephews fall out with each other, you can't really get in the middle of that. You still gonna have love for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I come from a place of love, and they know that. So T Grizzly knows, like, even if, he'll love me no matter what.
Yeah.
He's never gonna think different than that. And Sada gonna feel the same way, like, he'll, loves me.
Yeah. So when it comes to Sada, man, like, how do you feel like, did you see him becoming the star that he is now, like blowing up? Like, what did you see that specialty in him?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see it in him at first. When I started to be around him, I started to see it. Like, I started to see the star. But at first, just listening, I didn't pay too much attention at first. I'm like, this nigga just crazy. When I started like sometimes a music is just a feel.
Yeah.
So when Stacy just grab you and you just feel it, and you hear that, hey, you know what I'm saying? It just like take over you.
Got you.
So you got to really like feel it instead of just trying to being on the outside listening to it from a musical perspective and trying to figure it out like musically. Because sometimes you might look at something like in a technical sense instead of just feeling it. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So once I caught it and I got the feel of it, I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy. And 2K, you know what I'm saying? Sada, it just, you got to move when you listen to him.
I think the first time I ever heard of Sada, Say Cheese dropped that Detroit list. This was a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. I want to say Sada maybe been like number 3 on that list. I never heard of him. And I'm in, I want to say France. And I hear the song and it's going. I'm like, this shit is trash. And I'm like, how is he number 3? When once I start seeing the videos, I'm seeing this nigga dancing and performing. I was like, yo, I fuck with this nigga, bro.
There's no way you gonna see this nigga performing and you not get hype.
Bad. And so I was like, now Sada,
sometimes he just put the bike down and he just get to dance and then you just be feeling it. Like just being on stage with him or just watching him is electrifying.
Since you've been, now that you garner such clout in the industry, who was the one person you worked with that kind of shocked you, that actually reached out to you for a Helluva beat?
I can't even say Meg Thee Stallion because she was reaching out before she had blew up.
She doing her thing. Like
I sent her a pack of like some all right beats. And she told her A&R to tell me like, hey, she said these ain't your good beats, the good ones. Ever since she said that, I'm like, I like her a lot.
Man. So with her, like right now, like, do you? I guess when it come to production, being in such demand, how often do you have to make beats and like keep your repertoire? Repertoire up.
A lot of times, I don't have the. I only make them like when they call and ask for them.
Oh man, say fresh.
Yeah, they might be like, such want some beats. I'll be like, give me a minute, and then I'll just go make them and send them.
Got you. Now, you don't have to answer this, but business-wise, typically if somebody reaching out for a Helluva beat, man, like where's it starting at?
What, like the prices?
Price.
I so much don't really be like, I ain't really that much into the upfront money.
Got you.
Because I know it's gonna come regardless anyway. Okay. So the upfront don't.
So if you don't see no potential in the back end, you ain't there yet, fam.
Nah, I'm gonna still give you my all.
Got you. Oh, that's dope, man.
Figure it out. I don't ever want to be to the point where a nigga can't get a Helluva beat. You feel me?
Got you.
I'm gonna fuck with everybody at least once.
Now, in the city, along with yourself, man, who are some of the other producers that you feel like is coming up?
Shit, these niggas ain't even coming up no more. They up. Like Primo Beats, I could say is coming up, and my boy Wayne.
Okay.
And like Stuntman, like he been around for like, they ain't even coming up no more. They there.
They there.
You feel me? Like Ant Beats, like he's there. Like Jose, John Boy, Ruel, like these boys is there. And believe me, speak on energy, like that motherfucker right there.
Man. Now, are you doing your Dr. Dre thing yet? Where you getting a bunch of producers under you?
Yeah. I got a little squad.
Okay.
Little squad.
What about labels? Have you jumped into that lane yet?
No, not yet. Seems like kind of a headache.
Yeah? Why you say that?
Artists, man, they crazy.
Hey, man, isn't that they superpower, though? Isn't that what make them great? It's the craziness.
But just, I ain't into the babysitting thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
Now, before we get out of here, I want to know.
Shout out to 42 Dugg, too. That's somebody who I always felt like just believed in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that belief just helped just push a person even more. I'm like, I believe in him. Ever since like 42 Twin brought him to me, I just like believed in him. What about him made him so believable? Like, what did you see in 42 Dugg? Like, it's just like he like a star as a person. and as just a person, he's raw.
Got you.
So that you hear that in his music. And he's not a person that has like a long musical background. Like he really just figured it out. So he kind of just do it his own way.
What made him decide to sign with somebody out of state instead of like locking in here with somebody homegrown? Like, cause he signed with Gotti, right?
Yeah, like what you mean? Like we don't really got no like labels here, like for real. Or do you mean like maybe like an Eminem or somebody like that?
Yeah, like an Eminem or a Royce or a label here. Like, why did he have to go to Memphis?
I think like a lot of our artists was even like under the radar to some of our big artists.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like they like, not that there's no respect for what we be doing. We just kind of be like under the radar sometimes. Sometimes could be right next to you and you be overlooking it. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Gotti is like really tapped into like the underground streets.
Got you.
Know what I'm saying?
Now, have you had a chance to work with him?
Yeah, with him?
Yeah, with Eminem.
Nah, I need to though. Need to work with you, Em. Come on, man, give a nigga a chance.
Does he ever, other than his restaurant the other day, does he ever pop out anywhere? Maybe only Royce get to see him. Maybe.
I don't think you ain't just about to catch Em. You know, we look at him like he our Jay-Z.
For sure. For sure. Now, being that you're so close and you see everything around, do you feel like hip-hop is more dangerous now than it's ever been?
It really starting to seem like that. Cause like every time you turn on like the news and Instagram, like you seeing like stuff happen to rappers like all the time. Like it seemed like back in the day it ain't really happen like that much.
Yeah.
Like you had like Big and Pac, but it's like nah. It's like anybody could get it. Like XXXTentacion, like that really like that blew me away.
That's crazy.
And my kids like this music so much. Like I had to call my son and tell him like X got killed is like down there, like having to call him and say something happened to a family member. You know what I'm saying? I knew it would affect him.
Do you think it's because, do it seem more dangerous just because of the technology, information travels so much faster that we can see everything that's happening everywhere else so quickly versus back in, before the internet, if something happened in Flint, only Flint really knew it.
I think it's actually really more dangerous, like, because you got, like, real gangsters, like, making music, like, real gang bangers, real people that's really in the streets, like, they really making music, and that lifestyle is not changing for them. Like, back in the day, you had people who was thugging it, but they weren't even making no thugged out music, you feel me? And just the whole younger generation, like, they just on a whole nother level when it come to beefing and shit now.
How you think, as, us being, older guys within the industry, and you especially so clouded up, like, what changes can we help to get them out? Because I always say, man, we got to get the shooters out the industry. The shooters are the most popular ones, and now the rapper and the whole crew is shooters. When it used to only be one or maybe two shooters in the crew, everybody's shooters.
Man.
How do we change
They fucking the game up.
Man, for sure.
They fucking the game up for sure, but the music is so good, though. Especially when you done lived through it and you done seen it. Like, it's like, nah, it's more so they really rocking with you if they know you really like that. You feel me? Like, back in the day, we ain't know if niggas was rapping like they was like that, but we ain't know.
For sure.
And now it's like, you know when somebody like that, and it hit different when it's real. But there's a lot of real shit you can rap about, like Drake. Like, he not a street rapper, but he'll talk about something that's just like so normal and just so relatable. Like, just something that somebody else not about to talk about, like just going through stuff with family and females and shit like that. Like, it's all relatable. It don't all gotta be guns and action.
Facts.
It's more to life than that.
Who the 21 Savage said, this is random as hell, but he said that Future is a bigger artist in Atlanta than Drake. Would you believe that?
I think he said in the streets.
In the streets, yeah.
Definitely. Like, Drake is like it's like Michael Jackson to rap. You know what I'm saying? And Future is like, you really in the trap and in the field listening to Future.
Got
like, you could hustle, you could grind it out, Future got he coming from the streets.
Got you.
And he know how to put that in the music and make it like melodic.
Hell yeah. Like, do you think right now where we are, well, let me put it like this. I'll skip to this one then. With, damn, I lost my question. I do this from time to time.
We went from Future.
Oh no, so like, yeah, so what you touched on the Michael Jackson thing, and that Drake is the Michael Jackson of this generation. The debate that Drake is a bigger artist now than Michael Jackson has ever been. Is a bigger artist than Michael Jackson. That's been a debate like last week.
Seriously?
Yeah, that people were saying, like, the younger kids, of course, it's almost like the Michael Jordan and the LeBron thing.
I ain't that tapped into like information and shit like that, but it's no way Drake can be bigger than Mike. Mike came in the game at like how old?
9, 10.
So he gave us what, like 40 years of music?
Yeah.
Like, and Mike got some shit like, you could play Michael Jackson for a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and they gonna fucking love that music, like right now, this second. Like, his music is just so timeless. Like, you can listen to any of it, and it's not like anything you ever heard. Like, people passing out there and they're dying seeing Mike.
Grown men. That's even only place I ever saw that was church. You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? So,
hey, for real. But no, man.
People know they be passing out at church sometimes.
Yeah, they do, man. But I'll tell you what, man. I appreciate what you done for the culture, man. It feels good to be down south and hearing my city going crazy.
I appreciate that too. Like, that's like the best compliment to me, that I'm doing something just not for myself, but for the whole Detroit and for the whole culture.
Hell yeah, because you sending them through with that production, they getting the bag. Chanel and Vezo was just down there 2 weeks ago with Bebe. Babyface Ray came down there, was at V Live, we hit that. Shit was packed out. Sada came through a few times. Like, everybody lining up to get features. Like, man, that production with this sound and that sound coming through, man, niggas is eating like crazy, man. So keep doing that, keep pushing, man.
For sure.
Appreciate you sitting down with me.
Man, I appreciate you.
And until we meet again, man. Peace out.
For sure.